Hey guys, it's Jess. Welcome back to my channel for another video. So today I am back at Arosa's house. If you all remember last year, I came out here and did a landscape design for her. You guys have been asking for updates, so I am back today to do a bed makeover for her. We are going to do a little bit of a walk around to see what everything is looking like currently, and then we're going to be planting some plants today. Alright y'all, so here's what the front of the house is looking like. She still has all of her boxwoods and her gorgeous little mulch bed. This is a new build property, so everything that is here was builder's grade. It is right off the highway, so it's very, very loud. But I'm going to go ahead to the backyard, show you guys where we're going to be planting today and all the plants that we're going to be moving. Here's a quick update for y'all on all of the plants that we transplanted on this side of the house last year. These are 4 wine and roses weigelas that I transplanted from my yard into hers, and they have done amazing, y'all. Look how full they are. So she did cut these back, I want to say about a foot or so from the ground, and they have grown back. They're almost done blooming, but look at this foliage, y'all. So gorgeous. And then in between them, we also transplanted 2 of my abelias, which need a little bit of a haircut, so we might do that today if we have time. We are going to be fighting rain. We're supposed to get rain in a couple of hours, so we're going to get done as much as we can today. All right, y'all, so here's the area we're going to be working in today. This is her new shade garden. She's come in and planted a bunch of gorgeous shade loving plants, and I'm just going to help her kind of reconfigure things and make sure that everything is layered properly. This one back here is my rhododendron that I transplanted from my house to hers. It bloomed, it's done blooming now, so we're gonna go ahead and trim that back and get it shaped. And then she's got some gorgeous hostas and a couple of heucheras planted along the back wall, so we're gonna be moving those today. This is the gorgeous light of day that I gave her last year. Y'all, look how gorgeous it is. It is so full and loaded up with blooms. Not sure why mine is so delayed, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed, this is goals. This is how I want mine to look. Okay, y'all, so we are going to be working on redesigning and reconfiguring her bed today. I have gone ahead and kind of mapped out on paper where we're going to be placing all the plants. So I'm going to kind of walk through where everything's going to go, make sure the layering and spacing is proper, and that everything in the bed is getting proper lighting as well. So let's go ahead and set up the camera, and I'm going to walk you guys through the redesign. Okay, y'all, so here is what I kind of mapped out for her. Please ignore my terrible handwriting. I was writing in the air with nothing to bear on. So anywho, we have the lime hosta in the back, which is going to be staying. That is that one back in the back corner. We also have another large hosta over here, this green variegated one. So those 2 will be staying. And then we have my rhododendron here. That will be staying as well as her light of day hydrangea. So what we're going to be moving first is going to be these hostas in the back row. All 3 of these in the corner are going to come out. And I'm thinking that in order to anchor this corner back here in the back corner, the hydrangea would be a good option for that, because this will get about 3 by 4. So it'll fill in this entire space, and then we'll have a little area to put maybe 1 of the hostas in that corner. And then down here in front, let me reference my little pad here. Okay, so she's got an Anna's Magic Ball planted here as well as on that side. So I'm thinking bump this one back to about where that hosta is planted, because we are going to be making a nice half moon curve edging for the shape of this bed over to the corner of her steps. We have a cute little crepe myrtle tucked in over here. This is a dwarf variety. It is a bush form. So we're going to bump this one back just a little bit. And I'm thinking to correct the layering issue here. This is a Sgt. Pepper dogwood. Doesn't this one get about 3 by 5?
I think it's, I don't know if it's 3 by 5 or 5 by 6.
Okay, 3 by 5 or 4. I'm not sure if y'all heard her, but 3 by 5 or 5 by 6. So this one is going to be too tall to have smack dab in the front of the bed. We want things to go from tall to short. So I'm thinking move this one over to the corner over here. This hydrangea can stay, and then we've got a hodgepodge of heucheras and hostas, as well as some hellebores that we're going to kind of reconfigure as well, just to kind of make the layering make a little bit more sense. So here is the placement. We're going to have a magic ball over here. That one I think is going to stay. Sergeant Pepper over here on the corner. Her blushing bride hydrangea right here in the front. And then she also has 3 tiny quick fire that I gifted her. So we have one right here, one here, and one there. So I'm thinking, because those only grow about 1 by 2, they'll be gorgeous in a swoop right here in the front of the bed. So let's go ahead, set up the camera, dig up everything, because y'all know I need to work with a blank slate. We'll get everything placed and mulch, and I'll show y'all the reveal. All right, all the pots are moved. I'm gonna go ahead and start digging out in this area back here in the corner. It is super loud from all the highway traffic. It's about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so I hope y'all can hear me okay. But along her back wall here, when the house was built, they just left a whole bunch of rocks. So what she is trying to do is create a berm, kind of like a raised bed situation. So these plants are actually not planted into ground. They're planted above the soil, and we're just gonna build this bed up. So really, I can just really pop these out the ground. We'll get the hydrangea planted first, and then we'll configure around that. All right, so I think those will fill in that space nicely. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and move this Anna's Magic Ball back to about where that hosta is. Okay, so the Anna's Magic Ball gets about 2 to 3 feet tall and 3 to 4 feet wide. So I'm thinking, okay, so I didn't have my mic on, but what I was explaining here is we are going to be running a curve, and I wanted to walk in 2 feet in from the curve to place the arborvitae. All right, Anna's Magic Ball is done. Let's see what else we have. Light of Day is staying. So the tidbits. So she actually has 2. Here's one, here's the other one. These get 2 to 3 feet tall and 3 feet wide. So I'm thinking right beside the Anna's Magic Ball where we have the hellebores. So let's go ahead and dig out the hellebores and we'll get these placed. All right, we rocking and rolling. So we've got the tidbit, the rhododendron. I'm gonna bump the other Anna's Magic Ball back a little bit and dig up that little hosta. All right, things are looking good. So next I'm gonna go ahead and dig out the Sergeant Pepper right here in the bottom corner and move that over by the deck. Sergeant Pepper is placed. I'm gonna bump back this crepe myrtle hill just a little bit just because of the direction of the curve when we edge this bed. So we've got all the bones done in the bed, so all the larger plants. So now we can fill in with the smaller, low-growing perennials. So I'm gonna go ahead and outline the edge of the bed so we know exactly where we can plant. Okay, y'all, so I just got some spray paint and you can kind of see the edge of where the bed is going to be. It's gonna be a nice half moon. So we've got all this space up here in the front to fill in with the lower layer. So these are all the plants we have left to get placed. So I'm thinking we have 3 tiny quick fires. They only get about 1 foot to 2 feet tall and wide. So I think those will be really pretty in a trio right here in the front. And then we can just fill in around those. Okay, I like that. And then we've got 2 grasses. Wait, are these sun? Full sun. So what gets sun again? Over here? Or this side? So we've got 2 gorgeous blue grasses. I'm thinking 1 on each side. And then the rest is all hostas and hellebores. Okay, so let me get those in the ground first. I do this on a regular.
I know. That's what I told Driver. I said, this is something she do.
But at the same time, y'all were starting from scratch. Like, you already got most of the plants placed. I'm just moving. You had to figure out placement first.
And see, we were, I did my placement and then we planted. But when it was all said and done, and I was standing on the deck, and I was looking over, I was like, I don't like it. And that's why I had asked you, could you come over here? Because I'm like, I'm not feeling what we did. Like I said, I was trying to, because you know me, I like house. And if it was left up to me, everything would be a house.
Some people have hosta gardens. Like, that's
I know.
all they have.
I know. They call it what, like a moon garden or something like that?
Now, the moon garden is
Oh, shade
all
garden.
things that bloom white.
Shade garden. And I was like, I need something else besides house. So that's where the grasses came in at. That's where the calla lilies came in at. And the 2 girls.
Oh, you're getting worms.
Oh, shoot.
That's good.
Oh, that's a big one. Oh, he's a big one, Jessica.
What's that? It's really to work up your soil. Don't worry, we're gonna get you nice and covered with some mulch so you can work this soil.
Oh, he's huge. He's trying to go back down in there.
Yeah. I'm gonna leave you alone, sir. Work your way down.
Well, at least everything wasn't planted too deep.
I know, right?
So I did good on that part.
And at least it's not like rooted in bad.
Yeah.
All right, y'all, we've got all the big plants in the ground. Let's go ahead and fill in with the hostas and the hellebores. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 hostas. So we have 4 hostas to get planted. Wait, no, 5 hostas to get planted. And 1, 2, 3 hellebores. I think I'm gonna put the hellebores in a nice big clump in the center and then kind of meander them throughout the bed. All right, y'all, we got all the plants planted in the ground. It is starting to rain now, so we're gonna have to stop for tonight. Hopefully, fingers crossed, tomorrow it won't be raining so that we can at least come back in tomorrow, get everything mulched, and I'll give you guys a final tour. Hey y'all, so we are back with day 2. It is a nice cloudy, cool day today. We got a ton of rain last night. Everything did well. So today we're gonna finish up with laying the edging, putting some cardboard down, and mulching. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the camera and we'll get right to work. Okay, y'all, so before we get to mulching the bed, I have a little bit more planting to do. So I went to Lowe's on my lunch today, and they literally had all 5 of their flats of lamb's ear in clearance. So I bought a whole flat. That was 8 on a flat. 5 of them are going to go in the ground at her house, and then I'll be planting the other 3 at mine. So I'm going to go ahead, lay these along the front border, get those in the ground, and then we'll get to mulching.
We've been driving around, singing songs way too loud because we wanna. Picking up our love friends, fill up the car till it bends because we wanna. Yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine. We're gonna stay up, have the time of our lives. The night is young, don't need anybody else.
Lamb's ear is all planted. We've got 5 along the front border, and I think they're gonna line and spill over the front gorgeously. Let's go ahead and put the cardboard down, get to mulching, and I'll give you guys a final tour of everything.
We came to party all night long, and we don't need no chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own. We came to party all night long, and sing along to every song. We don't need nobody's attention, don't need nobody else in our zone. Making plans so fast we go, worried us when no one knows just how we want it. Going left, going right, doesn't matter tonight, just how we want it. We want it, yeah, we just wanna have fun. The trunk's full of wine, we're gonna stay up.
As long as it's funky, this rhythm just makes
I swear that's Runner J.
I'm like a junkie. I could dance all night. Shake, shake, shake,
All right, you guys, so we got everything all planted, sheet mulched, and whew, y'all, this was a task. It was kind of stressing me out just a little bit just because she has so many plants. I was worried I wasn't going to be able to fit all of them in here and give everything proper spacing to fill in, but we made it work and it looks so pretty. So really quickly, let me give you guys a tour and walk you through all the plants we have planted in this bed. So starting with the back row here, I did mention to you all earlier in the video that this entire space along her back wall here is nothing but rock. So we did have to kind of build everything up and plant this as a berm, but we try to disguise it with the mulch so everything kind of gradually slopes downward away from the house, and it looks really pretty. Her vision was to have her back wall nothing but hostas, and I think it looks gorgeous. So we have 2 smaller variegated ones down on the end. I have a larger one planted here, another large one here to anchor these 2 spots. And then over here in the corner, we have a gorgeous hydrangea called Merit Supreme. This one does get about 3 by 4, so this will fill in this entire space over here. And we have another small little hosta tucked in the corner here. So I think the back row is going to be gorgeous. Down here we have my favorite hosta. This is a autumn frost hosta. I love the pop of yellow and teal that it brings to all garden spaces. We have her Anna's Magic Ball, which brings a nice pop of chartreuse. And then a cute little wee hosta. I love the ruffled texture. It looks so, so good. Then stepping back over here in the center of the bed, we have the focal point. This is the Light of Day hydrangea that I gifted her last year. It is loaded in buds and I cannot wait to see it come into bloom. It's going to be stunning. So I'll definitely give you guys updates when it comes in bloom. This does bloom a lace cap bloom, and it depends on your soil pH what color they will be. So this will be exciting to see what it looks like when it comes into bloom. We have another small hosta tucked down beside it. And then this right here is the rhododendron that I transplanted from my house over into her garden. It is done blooming, so we will come in and give it just a slight little haircut. For rhododendrons, you want to trim them after they're done blooming before they start setting their buds for next year's bloom. Back behind it, we have another Patriot hosta. This one is a variegated green and white hosta. We have 2 more small little hostas down here in front. This one is another autumn frost. Not sure the name of that one. Another Anna's Magic Ball, and then let me step back. Down here we have a gorgeous heuchera. This one is from Proven Winners. It's called Spearmint. I love the icy blue teal color with the hot pink bloom stalks. So, so gorgeous. And then beside that we have a calla lily. I'm loving this dark wine bloom on it with the speckled leaves. Y'all already know how I feel about speckled leaves. So, so pretty. And then let me step back so that I'm not trampling anything. To anchor the center of this bed, we have 2 hydrangeas. These are Firelight Tidbits. Those are a panicle hydrangea. They bloom white later on in the season. We also have a gorgeous heuchera planted down in front of the Light of Day hydrangea. This one is called Cherry Truffles. Love that pop of red. And then down here in the center, we have a hodgepodge of hellebores. They all bloom different colors. I think they'll be amazing next spring. And then we have the gorgeous Blushing Bride hydrangea, and y'all, look at the size of this bloom. Like, here's my hand for size. Please ignore the ashiness. But literally, y'all, this bloom is massive. These blooms are supposed to be white, but they do have a little bit of tint of pink to them, which I think is really, really sweet. That gives me the signal that the Light of Day probably will be pink as well. She has alkaline soil. Over here on the left, we tucked in the Sgt. Pepper Dogwood. I love the hot pink variegation that this one has. And this also will bring some winter interest because in the wintertime, the stems on this are a fire red. So it is going to be gorgeous filling in this entire corner over here. Down here in the bottom corner, this is a crepe myrtle that I gifted her last year. This one has a gorgeous dark glossy leaf to it. And then later on in the summertime, it'll bloom a really dark purpley pink bloom. It is really, really pretty. This is just the bush form. It's not a tree form crepe myrtle. Over here in the center, we have a gorgeous, cute little blue fescue grass. I think this adds a really cute texture and I'm loving the color. And then also we have a drift of 3 tiny quick fire hydrangeas. These are the 3 that I gifted her last year. These are also a panicle. They are a little bit smaller than the Firelight Tidbits. So I think they'll line this front border perfectly. And then last but not least, along the front border, we have all of the clearance lamb's ear that I just purchased this morning. These are called Silver Carpet Big Ears, and I cannot wait to see these kind of rebound and just spill over that front edge. I think it's going to be gorgeous. So let me step back and give you guys a full of the entire area. Oh, I also forgot to mention over here, we still need to get this planted, but this is a Eastern Redbud that I gifted her that was actually supposed to be a rising sun, but they sent me the wrong tree. So I have gifted it to her and we'll be planting that at some point. But stepping back, I'm thinking that we can come in with some sod right along the front border here and then make a nice little pathway with some stepping stones leading from her deck over to her storage unit. But y'all, This was a task and a half, and I am loving the way that it turned out. I really think rearranging the plants so that the layering makes a little bit more sense is really, really important, and it turned out phenomenal. So we did opt to run the edging from corner to corner, and then we also ran it back to the corner of the house just to anchor and keep all of the mulch in place. All right, you guys, so that is going to conclude today's planting project. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I hope you found it inspiring. As always, I think the bed turned out gorgeous, and I can't wait to give you guys updates as the season progresses. As always, leave me a comment down below, subscribe for more, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.